Okay, I'm doing my Premier League fixtures months ranked. So every Premier League month after the fixture release that is gone most recently, I'm going to have the best fixtures, the best months for entertainment ranked here on this tier list. So I have every single month here, and we'll go in order, but August for me. So first we'll start with August, of course. So in August we have the newbies Coventry City playing Arsenal at home for Arsenal. That'll be interesting, but then it might also be a blowout. Who knows? Coventry versus Hull City. Hull. And then Villa versus Arsenal and Spurs versus Newcastle. Now that doesn't really stand out too deeply for me. It's an interesting one, and it could get all right. But I'm putting this. I don't mind it. There aren't really big matchups within that stand out. So I'm putting an average. Now September. Arsenal vs Chelsea, that's London derby. Manchester United vs Manchester City, that's the Manchester derby. That's a big one because it's also at Old Trafford. So that will be really interesting. And it'll be interesting to see how Enzo Maresca faces up with that and Michael Carrick. Sunderland vs Arsenal. That'll be an interesting one as well. Bournemouth vs Liverpool. That could be exciting, but we never know really at this point when we haven't really seen the teams face up. So I like this two really good derbies, and I think a lot to look forward to within that. So I'm putting it in good here for September. Now October, Liverpool vs Manchester City. That's always a good match. Newcastle vs Aston Villa. That's also a good match. That's sort of the PSR, the teams that get most affected by the PSR rules. Them who have been knocking on the door for the top six, the big six, for a while. But those two sides facing off. Chelsea vs Spurs, London derby, and Sunderland vs Leeds. Obviously the relegation battle from last year. Now, I also like this, but it's not amazing. I'll put it in good as well with September. November. Now, Liverpool versus Arsenal. Liverpool versus Man United. So big month for Liverpool. Arsenal versus Manchester City and Everton versus Liverpool. Now, I really like this month. Big matchups for Liverpool. New manager Andoni Iraola, and it could be really pivotal of how this season ends up. And it's ending towards the end of the year where it starts getting into that grind, trying to get those wins. And if you've sort of sorted out how your team's working and how every team's tracking by then, so I quite like this. I'm putting it in great here, November. December, Coventry City versus Ipswich Town. That's obviously a promotion battle. Newcastle versus Sunderland. That's a big derby there. Spurs versus Arsenal, another big London derby, and Spurs versus Bournemouth. So I like December as well. This is quite an exciting month. A few big derbies, and then big matchups. So I'm putting December as great, as it's crunch time in the season as well, getting those big wins away and getting some momentum into the new year. Now January, transfer time in the year. This one is stacked with matchups. You've got Bournemouth versus Aston Villa, Ipswich versus Coventry again, Ipswich versus Hull, Man United versus Liverpool again, Liverpool versus Everton again, and Manchester City versus Arsenal. This is an elite month. This is simply so many derbies, so many big moves, and transfers all through it. So this could be a massive month of Premier League football and could really decide who starts taking momentum into those last few months of the Premier League. Now February, Arsenal versus Liverpool, Manchester United versus Arsenal, Manchester City versus Newcastle. Newcastle versus Chelsea. Now this is good, but it's not great. It's alright. It's got some decent matchups there, but no derbies at all. So I'm putting it as average. February. Now March, it's warming up. Title race is warming up here. This could even be where they win it, because it could come early. But Chelsea vs Arsenal, London derby. Manchester City vs Manchester United, Manchester derby. Bournemouth vs Newcastle. That's a decent match. And Arsenal vs Sunderland. Now I also like this. There's two big derbies there. That's in the good column for me. April. This is where it gets heated. This is where the positions are coming, where everything starts rolling forward. Hull vs Coventry, Chelsea vs Manchester City, Arsenal vs Aston Villa, and Everton Bournemouth. Now those are pretty poor. Those are the best games for April, and they're pretty boring ones really for me. I'm putting this as poor April, despite the fact it's near the end of the season. But in May, it heaps up a bit more. Arsenal vs Spurs, Sunderland vs Newcastle, Spurs vs Chelsea, and Manchester City vs Liverpool. That's a great finish for that. So those months probably a terrible tier list from me, but I quite like that. January, the most to look out for. That's going to be a big month. And April, my poor month, but I think overall we cannot even judge it yet, because we all know Premier League we never can predict the Premier League. We never know when it's going to be easy to know who's going to win. So this will be a terrible tier list when we look at the end of the season. But thanks for listening. Check out those fixtures for your teams and check in for more.